Hello, I am here to assist you with completing the Moreno Valley College application as a concurrent student. You would need to make sure you go to our website, mvc.edu. Click on Apply for College. Scroll down a little bit. Click on the banner Apply for College, and you will need to create an account. If you have created an account, remember, the most important part about creating your account is your username and password. You will use this in the future if you apply to any California community colleges. I have already created an account and I will go ahead and sign in. You'll now start a new application. The enrollment information, the term applying for. We will be applying for the summer 2021 term, which begins on June 21st and ends July 29th. Click on the educational goal drop-down box. I am going to select one of the first four from the top. I'll take the first one at the top. Major category, I'm going to click on the drop-down box. There are a lot of major categories here. I am undecided, so I am going to simply select social and behavioral science. Intended major or program of study, I am going to click on the drop-down box and select social and behavioral studies, then press continue. This information is verifying that this is the account that I created with this information, and it covers my date of birth and that I have not completed, provided my social security number, which is okay. Now, I'm scrolling down and it comes to the parent guardian information. The question asks the following: if this applies to me, have I been legally emancipated, meaning that I am taking care of myself and I have pretty much divorced my parents? So that doesn't apply to me. Next, the question I'm looking at is, have I been a part of foster care anytime after my 13th birthday? That doesn't apply to me. So after reading over these questions, I am going to say none of the statements is true about me. I'm not self-supporting, I'm not in the active duty and armed forces, and I'm not married. And I do live at home with my parent and guardian. So I'm going to say none of the statements above is true about me. But if I were a part of foster care after my 13th birthday, I would select the first option. I am going to load in my parent, guardian name, and relationship. So I will go with my dad. The relationship, father. Current mailing address. My mailing address is the same as the permanent address in my OpenCXC account above. So I'm going to select the first option, then press continue. The address is correct. If I need to edit the address, it gives me the option, but I'm going to select the address is correct. I'm going to click on the drop-down box under college enrollment status and select the last option, enrolling in high school and college at the same time. Next, I do not have to worry about the high school education. I will go down to the last school attended, click on the drop-down box. I attended high school is what I'll select. The country is already pre-filled for me, so I will go ahead and click on the drop-down box for the state, and California is right at the top, and I'll select California. I will now enter my high school's name, and it should pop up. And there it is, Vista del Lago High and Moreno Valley. Next, I will look at the question, high school transcript information. College staff use this information to provide guidance. Your response will not affect your admission to the college. I am a 10th grader, so I'm going to select 10th grade. This asks, what is my unweighted high school GPA? So I'm not going to really concern myself with it, but I'm going to put 2.8. I'm not going to overthink it. What was the highest English course you completed in high school? You may have passed or not passed the course, but you remained enrolled until the end. So I'm going to say 10th grade English composition, and the grade I received, an A-. Next is the questions asking, what is the highest math completed in high school? So I'm going to select geometry. Whoop, go back. Geometry, and the grade I received, C. College education. I'm going to click on the drop-down box and select no degree and press continue. Citizenship military, I'm going to click on the drop-down box. It gives me the responses of U.S. citizen, permanent resident, temporary resident, refugee, student visa, other. So I'm going to select U.S. citizen. For U.S. military, dependent of military, this is asking if my mom or dad or my guardian have served in the armed forces. I'm not sure, and it's okay. I'm going to select none apply to me. Even if my parents have served in the armed forces, as you can see, there are many options, and I don't know for certain, so I'm just going to say none apply to me. And this is just for the concurrent application. And I'm going to press continue. Residency, California residence. Has your parent or guardian lived in California continuously since June 2019? Yes. Out-of-state activities, I'm going to skip that part because none of this applies to me. My parents or I have never lived outside of California, nor have we paid taxes out of California. So outside of California. When it comes to the special residency categories, none of this applies to me. I've never been a part of emergency shelter or high school district homeless liaison or a runaway. So I'm going to mark no. And I have never been a part of court order foster care. No. And I'm going to press continue. My main language, are you comfortable with reading and writing English? I'm going to mark yes. Financial assistance, I'm going to say yes. I could use this in the future. It really doesn't matter. I'm just a sophomore at this time, but in the future. I don't know what this means. Are you receiving TANF, CalWORKS, SSI, or General Assistant? And that's okay. I'm going to mark no. Athletic interest, I'm going to mark no. Programs and services, yes, I'm interested in all of this, but I know what will happen is that I will receive an email with more detailed information. So at this time, I'm not going to mark anything. I'll wait until I'm a senior and I'm applying to the college. Press continue. My gender, it asks how do I identify myself? I'm going to say a female. Do I consider myself transgender? I'm going to say no. Sexual orientation, I consider myself straight. It gives you the options. Now the question here asks the highest level of education for my parents. So my mom has a bachelor's degree and I am unsure about my dad, so I'm going to put unknown. Race and ethnicity, I am not Hispanic, so I am going to mark no. And then I am going to mark Black, African American. And this question is asking even more of how can I identify myself through my ancestry group. And I'm going to decline and just press continue. Now this question asks, if I would like to review my responses, I can save it as a PDF, but I'm not. I'm feeling comfortable with my responses. And then I'm going to consent. This question asks, if we can consent to release information. And I know that this information will be only used through the Chancellor's Office, community college offices, or financial aid, or the California Student Aid Commission. So I feel comfortable with saying I consent, knowing that this information will not go any further than these agencies. So now the question is, submit your application by checking both boxes. All of this verbiage is just saying I am who I say I am, and I've answered the questions to the best of my ability. So I'm going to go ahead and mark both boxes and then submit my application. There it is. I have submitted my concurrent enrollment application. Here's my confirmation, and now I will move to the next step. Thank you. I hope this video has been helpful. I will go ahead and sign out.